Happy New Year, everybody. There we go. I thought my mic wasn't coming in. Happy New Year, guys. How's everybody doing today? How you guys doing? I am chilling. I am happy to be here with you guys in 2021. This is actually pretty crazy. That mad year that we were all dealing with is finally over, and we're back in 2021. So I'm happy to have you guys here. As you see, as of right now, this is not the MattKnows Podcast, the combination of Steve Knows and Mateo 311, or Mateo 311 and Steve Knows. We'll be joining a little bit later in today's stream. It's going to be a traditional Q&A for the beginning of the stream, where we're just going to discuss a topic. Today's topic is right over there. It's VR in 2021, which covers everything, what new headsets we expect to see, what games we're looking forward to, stuff like that. So, I hope you guys had a fantastic new year. Ahoy, my dudes. What's up, Lucifin? Thanks for jumping in. I'm thinking this is going to be a great year for VR, and I'm really happy to be back live streaming with you guys. I had a 2-week break because my kid was home. My kid was home from school for 2 weeks. It was fantastic. Loved every minute of it. But now I'm really happy to be back with you guys. So, blessings from the Caribbean. I would love to be in the Caribbean right now. Glad someone who knows something about VR is going to be joining. Grumpy Duck has now been banned from the channel permanently. Permanent ban, you jerk. He just loves to get under my skin. It's because he has no talent in video games whatsoever, and I always beat him, so he's a little jaded. And yeah, he's just generally isn't as handsome as me, has some dirt on his face lately, and he's under lockdown, so he's going stir crazy. But how's everybody doing? What do you think the VR trend will be this year? Okay, we'll start jumping into your questions right away. There's no reason to hold off. So Steve Knows will be here for VR. Mateo's here to promote his OnlyFans. You got it, guys. That's right. The OnlyFans is live. I have the swimsuit out right now, guys, by popular request. We have the swimsuit calendar out on my OnlyFans, so you guys can go check that out. Sign up. No. So what do I think the trend is going to be? Well, just for the people jumping in, if you just happen to randomly be new here or whatever the case may be, normally I do these Q&As. It's an opportunity for members of my community to get to know me better and just ask any VR questions they have. I do my best to keep up with all the questions. Usually we end up being like 2-3 minutes behind, but I usually answer almost every single question unless I'm gaming or something wild is going on. That being said, no questions are really off limits, and if I don't like your question, I'll just skip it. But I think it's a good opportunity for both of us. So if you guys do have any pressing questions about VR, just go ahead, ask them, and we're all good. What's up, Alex? Oh, by the way, guys, go check out Between Realities podcast. So they're on YouTube. They're fantastic. They have amazing guests. Except for this one time, this guy Grumpy Duck was on for like 5 minutes, and it was a crap show. But besides that, the show's been really good otherwise. And don't check out Grumpy Duck. He tries to be funny online, and he's not. All right, guys, enough picking on Grumpy. Pretty sure another type of question you're inviting, but how do I close the Windows apps menu, which appears on pressing the Windows button? I'm using the Reverb G2. Sam A, I wish I had an answer for you. There might be some setting. I'm not familiar with Windows Mixed Reality. I've owned 8 headsets, and I actually don't own a Windows Mixed Reality one. I've used one on like 2 occasions, not even in my own home, but I'm not familiar with them. So maybe someone knows. All right. Okay. Where's the calendar? Calendar's not up yet on my fake OnlyFans. When can we expect to see a full recreation of Star Wars Universe in VR? Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait a while for that. There's going to be I'm expecting some cool stuff. So, Alex, Steve is going to be here a little bit later. So, this is like a trial run for the MattKnows Podcast, which Look. Well, yeah, that one. So it's a trial run for the MattKnows Podcast. So Steve will be here a little bit later. We're trying to work out like the schedule and everything. He'll be over there, in case you're wondering. He'll be on the other side. So we're working out scheduling and everything. He's just going to join. It's going to be casual today. We're going to kind of give you guys an example of what the show will be like. And probably we'll make this a little bit more official down the road. All right, so let's see. But yeah, Steve knows is going to be here. Recently updated my entire PC. And man, I'm going from 90 hertz to 144. Is insane. Blade and Sorcery doesn't feel clunky at 144. I don't think it feels clunky at 120, which is actually what I run all my games at, only because 120 is divisible by 60, and it makes for better recording. The frame timing is even. So that's the only reason why I run at 120. I have a 3090. I can't run at 144. I don't think I'm going to see the difference in 24 hertz, but who knows. It is dinner time in the UK. You are correct. It's 4:30 over there. We're giving him some time to get home from work, but he's working from home, and then just log in. And then it'll probably be a little bit of a shit show because we're going to have him join the call live. So even though we set up everything beforehand, he's probably going to come on. His camera's going to be screwed up and stuff like that. So you guys will have 5 minutes of technical difficulties. It'll be hilarious. Technical difficulties. And if Grumpy Duck says a word, we ban him from chat forever. Blonde Mateo is German. I like the picture, yeah. You don't like Blonde Mateo? Well, it's not Blonde Mateo. It's a conglomeration of Mateo and Steve Knows. You've been looking for a 3060 for like 3 weeks. It's still pretty hard. Give it like another month or two, and the GPUs and even the PlayStation and Xbox should be easier to get. So let's see. I'm just honestly, I have to say, Grumpy, it really gets under my skin. I not many things bother me, but that one comment in general just irks the F out of me. And I am going to come kick you in the shins one day. Come in the UK in a couple months. All right. 3080 Ti for sure next month. Super exciting news. Yeah. Yes, it has been confirmed. And generally, that's what I was telling a lot of people when they were like, should I get a 3080? Should I get a 3090? I was like, don't get a 3090, even though I have one. But I make mistakes so you guys don't have to. But don't get a 3090. The Ti will come out. It'll be almost matching the performance, and you'll save like $400. So yeah. 2021 is the year of haptics. Yeah, let's get into some discussions, guys. First off, I just noticed someone said they had a 1060. I am still running the giveaway for the 1080 Ti. I'll just drop a link to that so you guys have it. But I am still running the giveaway to the 1080 Ti. That's open to everywhere in the world. So what happened is I expected to give it away by now, but what actually ended up happening was my sub count kind of slowed down. So we're going to give it away at 20K. And my sub count took a pretty bad hit in November and December. But it's all good. We're having a good time. Streaming isn't necessarily going to help boost my numbers, but it's fun and I enjoy it. So that's all that matters. Yeah. Okie dokie. So let's see. The 3080 will beat the 3090. It's going to be close because if you look at the history of it, the Titan series, they're always really close. You'll have these weird scenarios where obviously the 3090, which is basically a Titan, outperforms it. And then you'll have other areas where the Ti performs equally or sometimes better. It's going to be right around the same performance. All right, let's see. It's but there's the hook. There's a generational gap there. So you're saying like it's going to be close. Let's just stick with that. They're usually clocked higher because they find ways to increase efficiency. There's something to be said about the amount of RAM, which is actually really close on the 3080 Ti. What is it, a 4 gig difference? Sometimes the memory speeds are a little bit faster. Until it's out, we don't know. I mean, these cards, the RTX 3000 series, they're actually pushing power limits a lot harder than they were in previous generations. So I don't know how much wiggle room they're going to have. Will the 3080 Ti need a minimum of an 850 power supply? We might be seeing that. 850 or above, 3-pin connector, because higher clock speeds, more power, it's, you're going to run into that. I don't think they have the same wiggle room they had in the past, but we'll see. Blast. Steve will be on in a little bit. So this is going to be the, it's like a trial run for the MattKnows Podcast. He's going to be joining at 12:30. Normally I do these Q&As where I hang out with you guys, answer VR related questions. So Steve should be on by 12:30, which is normally when this stream is actually starting to hit its peak, which is great. We'll have Steve come in and we'll hit a whole new Steve Knows peak. Sounds weird. Does Steve know? Steve knows he's supposed to be here. But he's one of those young, blonde, flaky kids. See, I get to call him a kid because I'm so much older. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Can't even find a 20 series. Jeez. Eric for president. What's up, man? What's up, buddy? Thanks for hopping in. Guys, I'm sure you know Eric. Eric's a big name in the VR community. He's actually a close personal friend at this point, and he's big on streaming now. So you should go check out twitch.tv/Eric for president. Let me type that. I'll typo it. Twitch.tv. Eric, is it? Let me make sure I get it right. All right. I don't want to typo it. It's Eric for President VR. All right, there we go. Let me drop a link to that because he is a new dad. I'm going in. And he's an awesome dude, and I'm happy to have him here. And go check him out because he's been doing a lot of. Sorry, I was sound from his channel was coming in for a second. He's an awesome dude, and he's been doing a lot of Population 1, and he crushes. Get to the Jabba and Paradise Decay are also here, guys. If you're not familiar with them, you should be checking them out. The red light makes my room look smaller. Paradise, you love commenting on my room. It's like your favorite thing in the world to do. It's still the same size, my man. It's I think it's 20 something by 12, and then I have the little side room here. I make sound effects. Okay, so let's get back to the questions here, guys. Do you expect a new headset from HTC announced at CES 2021? I'm expecting to hear something. The fact that the president of HTC made a comment recently, that he was on a show and he spoke about it. I think there's a pretty good chance, but I don't know. Usually we hear a little bit more before a show. The show's really close, so we'll see what happens. Again, though, this is. It's not a physical show, so it's not like they have to bring hardware there and do a live demonstration. They can pretty much, do what they did in the past with the Cosmos and just give you this. Look, something exciting. That's what they did if you follow. I got dizzy there. If you follow the, that's what happens when you're old. If you followed the press stuff from the original Cosmos, like I actually sent them a message on Twitter. I was like, hey, you got any more of that Cosmos information? And they responded, and they were like, yeah, sure, tune in on Wednesday at blah, blah, blah time. And then that's all we got was a video clip of the thing rotating. So it was horrendous. Yep, the red light actually comes. It's used a lot on my OnlyFans page. So check that out. Hot, steamy stuff on that OnlyFans page. Totally. Right on the cover, you can see I have no pants on. Right on the OnlyFans front page. That one's free. So let's see. So the HTC, back on that topic, I think we might see something, but I'm really they're doing the worst thing possible. They're over-promising, and they're probably going to under-deliver. On paper, the Cosmos looked fantastic. It had the highest resolution panel available at the time. It had I believe it was OLED. Don't quote me on that, but OLED. It had this flip-up design, Halo strap, which people loved. And it was trash on so many levels. So let me get back to these questions here, guys. And guys, if you have a question for me, just because I'll see some side chatter between you guys. It just helps me out if you just start it with @Mateo311. It'll catch my eye. It makes it easier for me to locate your questions and not just pass them up. Jesus did donate $2 on the last stream. It was fantastic. He came back from the dead just to donate $2 for me. All right. Do you think wireless VR is the future? George, I think actually that's one of the major innovations we need. It's pretty crazy at this point because the Index is approaching 2 years old. And back then, Gabe was like, well, it's a solved problem. It's a completely solved problem. And wireless is coming. And it's like, it's been 2 years. And I always speculated that maybe the solved problem was because they've tested with Wi-Fi 6E and the latency is low enough and the bandwidth is high enough and the interference is low enough that it'll work. And Wi-Fi 6E is just not readily available yet. So I thought maybe that's what it is, but I don't know. But I do believe, yes, it's the future. Dr. Beef's Doom 3 port, yes, fantastic there. His other ports, like I was just showing people how to install Half-Life. Fantastic. Half-Life on the Quest, awesome. Let's see. Yes, we're in the red light district. Guys, Cosmos is the best. You know what? Cosmos is the best HMD and has the best tracking. Turn on a smoke machine. You know what? You guys get me a smoke machine. I will absolutely run it every day. They're going to re-release the Vive Pro for like $600. The major issue with this is what I told HTC. I'm yelling just into the internet verse. I'm just like, HTC, get your crap together. You have something no one else has. You have this wireless adapter. You have this Netflix style storefront. You have two things that no one else has. Okay? What you need to do is bundle them all together and give us a package that gives us a reason to say, well, it's better than the Index because it has this and this. It's better than the Quest because it has this and this. I'm going to get all these games. It's going to be wireless. So if you were able to take the Vive Pro or even the Cosmos Elite, bundle it, you got to get rid of those wands. The wands got to go. Okay? If you get new controllers, Steam-tracked versions of their Cosmos controllers, because I actually like the Cosmos controllers. They're bulky. They definitely drain the battery, but if they were Steam-tracked, they wouldn't drain the battery. So if you got that in a package with the wireless adapter and put it at something near $1,000, you could be like, well, I could get the Index, or I could get this, which has more for $1,000, and then it would sell. Okay, and then give them a month or 3 of Viveport Infinity, get them addicted, give them a taste, get them addicted, and move on. All right. What do you think what do you think about a Cyberpunk VR game? There's two aspects of that. I don't expect to see Cyberpunk 2077 in VR. Barely runs on flat screen for most people. But Lo-Fi is coming out, and Lo-Fi looks sweet. I've been dying to check it out. I've been trying to get around it. It looks like the Pug. I missed a comment from you, but if I see it again, I'll check it out. Wireless VR that is incorporated into Radeon. See, like, I think it needs to be incorporated into the headset. Absolutely. When will the 2021 VR awards be? The awards come out in October. I have it on my calendar. I'm going to start making them in August. So I have like 20 calendar reminders to be like, make sure you get all YouTubers involved. And I start working on that in August, which will be much more inclusive this year. What does he mean more inclusive? I'm just going to be reaching out to a lot more people. It's going to be less hush-hush, more open. People can vote on what the categories are, stuff like that. Okay, let's see. So HTC announced some new shit for this year. Yeah. They didn't officially announce. They said in 2021 we have new headsets coming out. Didn't say enterprise, didn't say consumer. So do with that information what you will. But they said it's going to be next level VR stuff. It's going to elevate VR to the next level. And it's going to be like as hype worthy as the Vive was in 2016. Those are bold ass claims. Got any events coming up? No, I don't have any events coming up immediately right now. Limited frags. I'm kind of like, it's a slow churn in 2021 for me because I just came off a like almost 2-week hiatus because, like I said, I had my kid home for 2 weeks. She had 1 week of homeschool, which is really fun to homeschool a 6-year-old. And then another week where she was off completely. And my wife's been working like absolute madness. So it's been me and a 6-year-old all day, me with no human contact. And I'm doing just well. I'm holding it together completely. I got this. I got it. I got this. Smack myself every once in a while. No, but yeah, so it's a slow burn for me into 2021. But I do want to do a lot more collabs. I've been talking to some people. I want to, like, anyone who's playing VR, I would just want to join them. So if you're in here, your pal, Get to the Chopper, Eric, Paradise Decay, you name it, anybody, you got a podcast, you're working on a video, freaking just message me and I'm down. I'm down. I want to take this channel full time eventually. Have you let your 6-year-old play? Actually, I have. Like very little, because it's not healthy for her. It's not healthy for her eyes. It's not good for her neck. She's also a maniac to begin with. So I've let her try. She actually got pretty decent at Beat Saber, which is adorable. Lately, I just started letting her play PlayStation. We've been playing Astro's Playroom, which is phenomenal. And in 1 week's time, that's on PlayStation 5. And in 1 week's time, she went from, I can't hold a controller right, to, Daddy, let me show you how to do it. Which is, it's badass. I love it. Let's see. But there's one video on my YouTube channel, which would probably be pretty hard to find, which is actually she's playing, and it's like a 1.5 years old at this point now. Maybe I'll look it up and load it up if you know, convo gets a little stale here. Okay. Is there any new headset that you expect to arrive in 2021 except HTC? Not really. I mean, I think by the end of the year, Oculus will probably try and do something again, like an Oculus Quest 2 Pro. I don't know. They won't keep the 2 name if that's the case. I really hate to see that if they release a headset every year, but this technology is like moving quickly. If you look at the hardware in the Quest 1, you're like, yeah, man, they had to update. That's antique at this point. And if you look at the hardware in the Quest 2, you're like, okay, it does okay. But it's much better than it was. So, do I expect anything? I don't know. There's no rumors coming out of Valve at all. And when it came to the Index, if you were 6 months out from release, I basically had the specs of the Index. And I posted them in a video online, and people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. This information's all hearsay and crap and faked. And I'm like, guys, there's a lot of people repeating this and a lot of people that I trust. And the specs were, they nailed it. You know, the specs were right on. They knew the resolution. They knew the FOV. I'm not hearing jack poop about an Index 2, but I would love to see one. Connor, do you have another job besides YouTube? Yes, I do. YouTube is not paying the bills, my man. You guys have been great. You've been very supportive. My goal for this year, I know a lot of people look, Cosmo, he's up there on the list twice, and you know, he donated $21 in the last stream. Some people have thrown $50 here and there, which is amazing. But my goal for this year is figure out a way to get you guys to convert to Patreons, because $2 a month, even though yes, $20 in a donation is fantastic and I love it. I appreciate it so much is what I mean to say. But it's, you know, I never know when donations coming in. So if I get, you know, 100, 200 Patreons between $2 and $5, I kind of have an estimated revenue of what's coming in that month. And it kind of makes you know, because YouTube does this. Last month, my numbers were kind of poop, but my money was up here, and it's that makes no sense. So it's all over the place. But yes, I have a full-time job, and I kind of sneak this podcast. You've created a monster. Now I got Eminem in my head from that comment. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I've created a monster with the little one playing on PlayStation. It's fantastic. I love her. Valve is working on the Index 2. I'm sure they are, but is working on can be a 3-year process. Do you anticipate any headset to overtake the Index for PC VR? Would you still recommend the Valve Index? Okay, good question. Dan, I absolutely do think eventually one will take over. Because, you know, the Index is almost 2 years at this point, and when it comes to VR, that's an antique. Do I know who will make it? No, I can't really speculate, because that industry is not very profitable right now. Why HTC struggles in that market is because they are a hardware producer. They're a hardware company. They need to make the bulk of the money off of the hardware. So that's why the That's why it costs so much more to get something like a Vive Pro or a Cosmos than it does to get a Quest, which has potentially more technology in it, which might even be more expensive to produce. Facebook could sell them at cost because their real goal is to make money off our information. HTC doesn't have that, so they have to have a nice profit margin on their hardware, or otherwise it's not worth it for the company. So that's why we don't get great stuff at HTC. Microsoft is they're in the market, but they're not. I'm expecting to see good stuff from PlayStation 2, but even Sony said we're taking our time on that, so we'll see. YouTube is going sicko mode. I don't know what that means, Joss. I have a full-time job as an accountant. No one asks what you do when you say you are an accountant. I'm up on TikTok. I'm the oldest man on TikTok. Let's see. I'm getting a 3060 12 gig when it comes out. Half-Life Alyx will be amazing on a 3060 for sure. Limited frags, thank you, dude. I'm not, guys, just so you know, I'm not sitting here trying to, sell myself. I'm not trying to sell myself. Like, that's one of the fears I have of ever doing this full time. To have to be like, well, guys, I didn't make any money and I can't feed my kids this month. Luckily, I've been positioning myself financially so that if I ever want to transition to this full time and it goes belly up, my family won't feel it. So I've been positioning myself with that plan for, kind of years now. But I do want to do this. Okay, let's see what's going on. Knuckles for the win. I love my Knuckles controllers, to be honest. Broken Knuckle the other day. If you follow me on Twitter, you would know that story. Let's see. I think a Valve Index with inside-out tracking and hand tracking would be sick. Technically, the Index should be capable of it. It has the front-face cameras. I just think a lot of other companies haven't invested the time and money to crack the code like Facebook has. Their tracking algorithms are absolutely fantastic. Even at launch, when they weren't as good as they are now, they are they're still pretty freaking darn good. So it's just, I don't know. I think Valve sometimes gets set in stone. Like, for a while, they're like, we don't need thumbsticks, trackpad for the win. And it's like, no, trackpads suck. And that's why you still have a trackpad left over on the Valve Index controllers, and it doesn't need to be there. So I think they kind of get stuck every once in a while on things like that. But so they might be stuck on their solution, the base station-based tracking. Now, it is more accurate, but do you need that additional level of accuracy? I appreciate it. I do notice some tracking loss on my Quest 2 occasionally. Does it get me to the point where I'm pissed? No, it's occasional annoyance. So if you're super competitive, I would say yeah. I'd say you need it. The future of VR headsets is wireless and HDR and OLED. So the Hawk, I will disagree. Okay? So let's go. I'll tell you a couple reasons why I completely disagree with you. Not to say that I wouldn't love to have those features. There are people like me who actually don't see a huge variance in the black levels. I bring this up every time. If you go back 4 or 5 years, what color is the dress? People see the dress different colors. It was white and gold or blue and black. And I'm personally one of the people who see it wrong, but there's a vast majority of the world that sees it wrong. And some people aren't as susceptible to the black levels. And then you run into the issue when you go OLED, which is the pixel array, and then you see the space, you have a higher screen door effect. And then I feel like the screen door effect is a lot more intrusive than the occasional crappy black levels. But even if you look at the Index, which gets ridiculed for the black levels, Half-Life Alyx, the blacks look black. So it's not the hardware. It's not a hardware issue. It's more software related. So you have scenarios like that. Then you're talking about, the HDR. You need it's a higher bitrate signal. So when you're sending a higher bitrate signal, it's going to be harder to make that wireless. So it's like, okay, they're two conflicting things you want. It's kind of like asking for magic. It's like, well, I want wireless, but I want additional clarity at a higher bit rate. Sometimes we struggle to get the resolution we do right now. There's a reason why certain panels are only 90 hertz or, a certain resolution, because you're struggling to get that bit rate, especially over an extended cable, 16 feet. I had to run fiber optic cables in here for that projector because I couldn't get a 4K HDR 60 hertz signal to it, working perfectly all the time, consistently working. So you run into issues. All right, so let's catch up a little bit. Spent a while on that. I sent you a DM on Twitter about something that's coming up. Looking forward to that. Definitely want to play with others. There's actually a grapple tournament game coming up, which I'm pumped for. I got a Quest at launch and didn't notice tracking issues. So here's the thing, Nick. Some people will say, well, mine was fine. And sometimes you don't know unless you've experienced something else. At launch, my Quest was good enough. Definitely good enough. I turned on Beat Saber, and it specifically down here, I can't really see my arm, but down around your waist, towards your back, that's where tracking loss was at its worst, and they eventually made the algorithms better. But I wouldn't say it was bad. I know people like, Cosmos tracking is fine. It's like, have you used another headset ever in your life? No. You just don't know what you're missing. That's what it comes down to. I have a Steam controller. It's also crap. It's full of 6 inches of dust right now. I see a cape. I'm sorry, Paradise Decay. I'm wrong. I see a cape. Soul Fox in the house. What's going on, guys? Just so you know, Soul, I answer all the questions that come through chat, so I usually get on like a 2-minute delay over time. But nice to have you here, buddy. I think I mentioned you a little bit earlier. I know for sure you're going to be mentioned later in the channel because we're going to be discussing some YouTubers. Me and Steve. I got some great questions to go over with Steve. But we're going to be discussing YouTubers. We're going to talk about how people like Soulfox Gaming is fantastic. If you're looking for things like Rec Room and some some game footage, you check him out. And if you don't want anything good, you go watch Grumpy Duck VR. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Should I get a link cable or use virtual desktop? Considering virtual desktop is $20, I would get it. It's you might run into some issues with it. Well, again, let's preface this with, how's your Wi-Fi? Are you on Wi-Fi 6? Do you have a new router? If that's the case, are you close to your router when you play? If that's the case, go for virtual desktop. I'm like 6'5", and the Quest 2 had too many problems for me. If you were 6'5", you'd have trouble standing down here. I occasionally punch the ceiling playing VR, and I am those numbers reversed. I'll let you guys do math. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so sides. Well, yeah, when you're that big, I don't want to call you lanky, but I'm going to. When you're that tall, I mean, the Quest is just not built for you. It's just not built for you. No, Grumpy. The cause of my comments are because you're a jerk. No, I love you, dude. I'm going to stop picking on Grumpy right now. It's my show. It's not fair. He can try and communicate back, but with his limited capacity, he doesn't do a good job. So Grumpy Duck is awesome. If you're looking for comedy-based YouTube stuff, check him out. He's a good friend. Maybe not after this stream. Yo, my Wi-Fi kinda ass. If your Wi-Fi's kinda ass, get a link cable, get a third-party one. I recommend Kiwi or Anchor off Amazon. If it doesn't work for you, just return it. Amazon takes everything back. You could cut the cable up into 50 pieces and they'll take it back. Don't recommend it, but they'll take it back. So get a cable, test it. If it doesn't work, get a different one. But I've used Anchor and Kiwi. I have them right behind me, and they've worked fine for me. You two have the sweetest rivalry. I wouldn't call it sweet. Grumpy's a good dude. He is. He just knows the one comment that gets under my skin, and he starts my stream with it every time. Let's see. Do I need Wi-Fi 6? If I have Wi-Fi 5... So, okay. You don't need Wi-Fi 6. You don't. The only reason why I recommend it is these days there's so much Wi-Fi interference out there. It also has more bandwidth, less interference. Only really Wi-Fi 6E has less latency, and the Quest doesn't use Wi-Fi 6E, so you don't have to worry about that. So you don't need it. Wi-Fi 5, a 5 gigahertz signal is good enough, for sure. I'm never getting another Oculus headset. I know people who are in that boat, and I understand. Have you had any issues with RMAing your index? No. So I have RMA'd a base station with HTC on my original Vive, and that was a headache. Dealing with HTC was a major headache. I have RMA'd my cable because I wrecked my cable in the past. Kind of forgot I was wearing the headset and just tried to leave the room, and it just like yanked me back. Like I had it on the top of my head, and it yanked me back, and it bent around the corner of my desk, and I was getting signal dropout, static, pops, all that crap. So they replaced the cable, no problem, and they replaced both my controllers, no problem. They even sent them ahead of time. So I was like, hey, I can't be without VR for a day, guys. And they're like, don't worry, we'll send them ahead of time. And some people say I got the YouTuber treatment. Valve doesn't know who the F I am. That's BS. Let's see. Kurt, they screwed you over. Facebook, did they kill your account? Because I know people love complaining about that. Grumpy. I do see the potential. I just want some more details. I want more details about everything. The whole damn world. After Alex, what game should I play next? Okay. Well, you played through Alex, so you can handle it fairly. Did you play through it with free locomotion, or were you teleporting? But I'll yammer on as you answer. So Half-Life Alex is like the cream of the crop. So some things are kind of going to disappoint you afterwards. I do recommend Boneworks. Some people, I start a sentence, stop it, and start a new one. Some people will say that the storyline sucks, and I thought it was wishy-washy. But, because I don't know, it's like not really a developed storyline, something like Half-Life Alex. But it's a really amazing experience, and it's probably the best sandbox out there. So Boneworks is fantastic. The melee and gun-based combat is unmatched in VR, in my opinion. Blade and Sorcery is up there, but it doesn't have the gunplay. So Boneworks is fantastic. Janky, but fantastic. I really liked Asgard's Wrath. Saints and Sinners, a lot of people definitely recommend. If you're looking for like something lesser known, indie style that you probably pick up on a nice sale, when Steam sales are going on, Silicon Rising. It's a wave shooter. It has two modes: arcade wave shooter and free locomotion shooter. And it's a beautiful game, and it's got a bit of bullet hell in it. You got to dive behind cover, and I absolutely love it. Steve knows what's up, Steve. Are you ready to join this? Are you ready to join in the action, man? He's still working. Steve's going to join us when he can, like I said. We're going to be doing like official times and stuff in the future when we won't be like, Steve, you ready for me? Steve, I need you. Steve, my podcast is nothing without you. Get in here. Yes, Vertigo is another fantastic recommendation. Clueless Dad Gamer. I love the name. Vertigo Remastered is phenomenal, and Vertigo 2 is on like my list of most anticipated game for this year. Where the F is MattKnows? Where is he? I don't know. I'm going to go throw on a blonde wig and just be like, hi guys. Good day. This is MattKnows. I wonder what the combination of us would sound like. So I actually haven't got around to trying the new version 1.6 for Boneworks because life. But otherwise, I still love Boneworks. It's like whenever I want to show off VR, I usually throw people, Boneworks, not right away because some people can't handle free locomotion. But I still like to demo it, be like, oh, well, check out this game. If you feel comfortable, try it. And I'm in there like, someone will get in there and they'll be like, like everyone gets overwhelmed. But once you get used to it, you're like, no. I'm going John Wick style. And you're like, guys, watch this. Whoosh, bam, 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 bam. Grab a head crab, stab it. Like head crab is coming out of midair. You pull an axe off your back and chop it out of the air while it's coming at you, and you know, the crowd goes, woo! Super Hot's good. I actually like to demo, have people try Space Pirate Trainer. That's probably my biggest game where it's like, oh, you want to experience VR? Come over here. You know, put this on. These are your guns. This changes gun. Shoot the enemy. And I'm like, and dodge the bullets. And people are into the game. It's very intuitive. So they figure it out in 10 seconds. You're like, you grab their elbow and you're like, do this. Now you have a shield. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. And it's my favorite wave shooter by far. Legends. Steve is throwing out legends left and right. Are you getting the bHaptics Kit X40? Yes, I am, Mr. Trinidad. So my buddy Alex, who was in the chat earlier, I don't know if he's still hanging out, but he works for bHaptics now. He informed me that they're going to be sending me one. It's just they want to make sure all the original backers, all the original orders get processed. Robo Recall is actually really good too. I love Robo Recall. They need to make Brookhaven for Quest. Does that game still get like any support? Has it received any updates? Because I actually never tried it, sadly, because initially VR Horror and me just didn't jive. But if you guys have been following the channel for now, I've overcome my fears. And like I had no trouble jumping at the hinge and stuff like that on a live stream for you guys. I've been desensitized. But in the beginning, I just could not do VR Horror. I could not handle it. So, Cat VR plus bHaptics. I'm super ridiculously skeptical of Cat VR. I know some people are starting to get theirs, like they're coming in now. But here's my issue with Cat VR. It's not going to simulate a realistic gait. So you're going to have this kind of like wearing a backpack, walking uphill in sand sensation. Might be nothing like that, but just to give you a random example. You also have less control than if you were just using a thumbstick. And it's also way too physically tiring. I get physically tired, you know, in games like Until You Fall. So, like, now you want me to play something like Skyrim with, you know, actually slapping people, but then jogging 10 miles while I play? I'm too old for that. The grays that are up in here are proof. But bHaptics looks fantastic. Honestly, it's the most excited I've been for a accessory. Like, I have a gun stock that I'm going to be showing you guys off soon. I have some cyber shoes. I actually have a handful of gun stocks that I'm going to be showing off. I have cyber shoes. Like, they're cool, but I feel like the accessory that I would use the most and love is, without a doubt, bHaptics. Let's see. Prior to COVID, I took my Quest to a barbecue. It was the highlight of the night. Richie's Plank experience went there. So I love showing people Richie's Plank experience. I actually pull out a physical plank. I put it on a little lip, so it's off the ground. And then I put sponges on it, so when people walk, it wobbles. And I put people on the plank, and that's a lot of fun. My sister-in-law would not walk down it. And that video clip is actually on YouTube. She would not walk down the plank. She closed her eyes and was screaming. And it's like, well, once you close your eyes, it's not scary anymore. But Richie's Plank is fantastic. The ability to do that at the Quest, like every time I go visit family in New York, I bring my Quest. And like, I walk in the door, I see my little cousins or my nephews, and I'm like, what's up, guys? And I just like throw the Quest at them, and they're like, yeah, and they're gone. And then like 2 hours later, they're like, it's dead. I'm like, yeah, plug it back in, guys. So, you know, that's how I'm a hit, and I'm the awesome uncle. Yeah, no support anymore. That's kind of what happened with In Death. So I was glad another company took over In Death. Super Bright took it over and brought it to the Quest, because that's one of my favorite Quest games. Steve knows needs an upgrade. DualSense Sony Haptic Vest. What gets me excited, the new PlayStation 5 controllers. I need a prop. You know I need a prop. I'm coming. The PlayStation 5 controllers are fantastic. It does so many little quirky things, like Astro's Playroom shows it off. But like in Astro, you pull like a cable and it's like, and you hear sound effects coming out of this. And then like it gives a little rumble when the cable snaps and the triggers push back, and it's phenomenal. So I'm expecting some cool haptics to be included in the PlayStation 2 VR controllers. Let's see. I always remember my first VR experience in a plane. Being scared of heights is a horrible feeling. 3 years and I'm standing. Yep, yeah, I saw you doing some Microsoft Flight Simulator. Guys, if I didn't mention it, check out Paradise Decay. He's playing something every freaking day. Is PSVR 2 going to be wired, wireless, or both? There is no answer to that. No official answer. Speculation, wireless. I took my Rift to a Christmas Eve 2 years ago, and people loved it. How'd you take your Rift? You carried a computer with you? Yes, real plank is the way to go with Richie's plank. The lab is also a great experience to show people. Let's see. Yeah, Steve, come on. We have conversations, bro. We were just talking about PlayStation 5 the other day. How do I talk so fast? I have no idea. No, actually, I actually get tired doing these streams. I heard that the new micro LED screens coming out will be great for VR. They have the potential to be fantastic. Battery strap or over-the-counter battery pack, Franken mod. We're talking about the Quest. So my solution for the Quest is I got the Elite strap. I know people say, oh, they crack. I've torture tested mine. It held up. I suspect there's either a manufacturing defect or another defect. So if your head is a particular shape, it puts some weird stress on it, and that's why they're cracking. But mine is fine, and I still continue to recommend it. But I wouldn't go $130 for the Elite strap with battery pack, because you could get the Elite strap for $50 and then get a battery for $20 on Amazon. I have one. Do you guys want another prop? Say prop, and I'll go get it. And that, you'll get another 2 hours or so for $25, I think mine was. Use the gaming laptop. Okay. Steve knows. I just like saying your name, dude. It's cool to have you in chat. Haptics are underrated. You know what? Paradise Decay, you are 100% on point on that. If you play a game missing haptics, it really boggles the mind. Like, I forget what I transitioned from. I think it was, I think when I first went from my Vive and Vive Pro to a Quest 2, and I was like, these haptics are so rinky-dink. Mind you, the wands were like these ginormous, things that you death grip, but they'd be like, roar, roar, and they have a lot of kick to them. And you go to the Quest, and it's like, pew, pew, and I missed that. And haptics make the magic happen. It's that little extra nuance, because VR is all about immersion. And if you're new to VR, never experienced it before, and you run the Valve intro, and they're like, oh, this is the controller, and you look down and you see in your hand, you're like, oh, wow, cool. And it's like, press this key, and you press it, and a laser shoots out. And you're like, and everyone's first reaction is like, oh my goodness, everyone. Now we've probably been desensitized to VR, but that was everyone's first reaction. And then they changed it over to shoot balloons and confetti because the laser beam's too aggressive for most people. And, that's just to show you how amazing the immersion is in VR. You guys want a prop? You want a prop? Wait, come chair, come. Okay. Yeah, there's my battery pack right there. This I actually bought this for something else. But it works. I tested it with my Quest, and this was $25. This is actually a heating battery for a jacket for my kiddo. And I was like, give me that. And it works for my Quest, so it provides enough power, and it kept the Quest running for an extra hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. You think the Haptics in the Valve Index are too weak. So, I don't really agree with that, but I guess, I don't know. Like, they definitely give some type of realistic sensation. I can't say they're missing anything, but maybe. In a parallel universe, Steve knows would be Steve doesn't know. It's like the coin flip universe. You know, the universe where every time you flipped and should have got heads, you get tails, and that broke the whole world. Let's see. Your controllers are older. I don't know if they weaken over time. Let's see. Please don't fall. Wouldn't be the first time. I'm accident prone. I actually... So when I did the Dash World live stream, guys, which was a special event where they had a cockpit that says Mateo 311 and a steering wheel that says Mateo 311, and when you press the horn, it's actually my voice, and it's awesome. And that's one of the last streams I did before I took my break, and I was too close to the Guardian, so I turned off my Guardian, and what ended up happening the next time I played, I went to play Creed Rise to Glory, and I inevitably full force punched this frame right. I punched this frame full force right here, and my knuckle is still purple. My knuckle is still completely purple ever since that, so that's fun. Let's see. The PS5 haptics are fantastic. Not gonna lie. So B haptics, we were talking about it. X16, X40, worth it. I haven't tried mine yet. One's coming. My X40's coming. Steve has the older model. I don't know if he got the upgraded model yet, but I think Steve will tell you that it's sweet. Killer game VR is missing. Oh, Cosmo, what's up, buddy? Glad to have you here. Okay. So, games I could talk about forever for VR. One of the problems with VR development is people are kind of like, let's take this game and bring it to VR, and that's the wrong approach. They don't transition perfectly. And that's really not what VR is about. VR is more about immersion and presence and physically active games and stuff like that. So when you start with the premise of let's take a cool game and bring it into VR, it usually doesn't go well. It's like let's take our knowledge of VR, our past experience with VR, and think about what works great and make that into a game. Okay. I'll go to the UR in a minute. But, so when it comes to, like, what's a killer game they're missing? I can't really say because it probably hasn't been fully designed yet. It's just a game that utilizes some of the amazing aspects of VR, like presence, like voice chat, like human interaction. If you can nail those and combine them, that's like VR chat does so well, and Half-Life Alyx. Because even the little thing like covering your mouth when you're hiding from Jeff, you gotta do this. That just makes it feel so much more real. Motors in the Your VR, I haven't burnt out my motor, so I couldn't tell you how long it's gonna last. But they do, if you have a Your VR, they now sell a motor burnout kit. They don't sell it; it's free if you have a Your, so they just ship it to you, and it's just basically fans that'll help keep the motors cooler, so they don't kill themselves. Let's see. Illegal on a road, illegal on a path. What are we talking about, Steve? Steve just keeps talking. If you know Steve personally, every once in a while I have to ask him, is that English? Anyway. Doom games were solid, just need official ones. There was an official Doom game. There was Doom VFR, which I thought was mediocre because Bethesda doesn't know how to do VR. Let's see. What are we missing? What we are missing is more immersive character models. That is a great one. We'll discuss that. Besides VR chat, using AI model people better. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So one of the things that's kind of like crappy in Medal of Honor, which I've said a lot of crappy stuff about Medal of Honor over the years, month, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, is when you're going for realism in VR, you kind of have to nail it. Otherwise, it just looks terrible. Like, when you walk up to highly rendered, realistic looking 3D models and they have dead eyes and a cold stare and they don't make eye contact with you, the immersion goes out the window. And it sucks. Something fell. You like those reflexes? Hold on. One of my lights is not in its final position. It hasn't been mounted yet. So it's kind of just, I guess, too much movement from me and it knocked over. But geez, I was ready to fight there. Whew. Anyway, the Doom 3 mod will be pretty awesome, so I'm waiting for that. Let's see. I saw a comment there. What's the best haptic experience you've had? Mine was Alien Isolation. You can feel the intensity of Alien getting closer. So let's see. So haptic, I think, haptic controllers, vest, whatever. But it sounds like you're describing immersion. As far as haptics go, I'd say the UR is my favorite experience. That thing is pretty mind-blowing at times. As far as the deepest immersion, I don't know. Half-Life Alyx is pretty amazing at times. Let's see. VR YouTuber house coming in 2021. I would love to live in that house. Medal of Honor doesn't even have, bokeh? I don't know. I'm missing something. Like VR chat animations. Is that some technical thing that I don't know? Animators can learn that in like a month. Valve absolutely cares about VR. It's not like, it might seem like it's just like the thing to do to just talk about how good Half-Life Alyx is and be like, Steam, index, Half-Life Alyx. But their technical achievements are just unmatched. Let's see. Is it worth it to get a Rift S? Steve will say no. I'm about to disagree with Steve. Okay. There's a use case for the Rift S. The Rift product line is discontinued. That is true. There is a use case, though. If you're only planning to play PC VR games, you want to get in as cheap as possible. You're probably, and you know, like, you want that just a little bit better lack of latency, because if you use a Quest 2, you're going to have a little latency, and you don't have a very high-end machine. Then you get a Rift S, or maybe you get one, you know, off eBay for fairly cheap, because it does everything good enough. It's easy out of the box. But if you have a little bit more money, have a higher-end machine, no, don't get it. You know, the Quest 2 is also, if you want the versatility, you get the Quest 2 because you could still play PC VR games. It plays them well enough, and then you have mobile games. So there you go. Lower res, lower refresh rate. But Steve, you have to realize that the Oculus Quest 2 does not connect to the PC over a DisplayPort or HDMI. So it is compressing and decompressing the video, reducing latency, reducing the overall resolution. And you say you could bump the scaler up, but no, you're going to crush your GPU. Even at 3090, if you bump the scaler up to get native resolution, you're crushing your GPU. John Carmack says, prepare to drop frames. Do you think it will increasingly become the norm that AAA Games has a VR mode? No, I do not think that. I think at this point, guys, we're going to be taking a break. We are going to be taking a break, and Steve will be joining us. We'll be right back. 1 minute. What's up, guys? Did you hear Steve slam the door in the background? Steve's gonna be right on. He's gonna be right on. He was like, "Oh, I gotta pee." He's like, oh, I'm ready to go. Oh, no. I'm gonna tinkle like a princess. So Steve will be right on with us, guys. And we're gonna be doing the first half official, non-official Steve Knows podcast. Yeah, you hear Steve slamming the door in the background. He'll be right on. So he was like, "Oh, entertain them because I'm a princess." I think he had to put on makeup too. I thought he looked fantastic, but anyway. What headphones do I have? So these are nothing special. These are just Avoid Steve Knows Echo. These are from Resolution Games. These are Blast-On headphones. Oh, we have an official Steve making noise in the background joining us.
Sorry. Wild Steve appears.
While Steve appears, I'm going to drop his levels down a little bit, and let's get him on screen, guys. There's our fantastically handsome Mr. Steve, as I call him constantly. Mr. Steve. What's going on, buddy? You're over here. How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm looking like a delay at myself, so I think I'm going to block off
the part
of the screen where I see me.
Yeah, just stop moving around. Stop fidgeting. Hang out. Let's have a good time.
I do. I just fidget. I can't help it.
I know. That's why I normally keep my screen so freaking wide. So, guys, this is the half official MattKnows Podcast. Steve is here. Steve is here with us. Let me get you up a little bit. Let's get a little bit more intimate here. What are you showing off in the background there, Steve?
No, he said that you can see the GameCube, so instant respect. Well, there's everything here. I've got everything from the early 80s to the modern day collector of sorts.
I have to say that you popped right on screen without issue. So right there, we are off to an amazing start. 2021 is looking up. It can only go uphill from here.
yeah, of course. We've hit rock bottom. We can only go up.
Now people are now I understand why your logo had blonde hair.
Yeah, it was like a part Matteo Iron Man, part Steve.
There you go. That's my Mass Effect armor. Get it right, dude.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Anyway, Steve, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy 2021.
Yes, Happy 2021. Thank goodness 2020 is freaking over. I'm glad to be doing this with you in this year. Now, Steve has commitment issues. He's yet to officially sign on to anything long term, and we haven't figured out a specific time because, as you see, I end up waiting around for Steve.
Yeah, I am. I'm a terrible date.
Yes. But no, we're going to try and figure out a time that works for both of us, and we're going to hang out. And I think Steve's going to bring a special extra flavor to the channel that we don't have.
Yeah, extra vanilla.
Extra vanilla. Extra British. But Steve, so, I usually have a topic for these. I normally do a Q&A, which is just me talking to the stream for a while. A lot of people have questions about VR. But we normally have a loose topic, which we try and stay on at least a little bit before people start asking me about my OnlyFans and stuff like that. But I had...
I need to sign up for that.
Are you a member of... How are you not a member of my OnlyFans?
No.
I mean, I'll just... I sell bathwater. I sell bathwater, and I have a calendar coming out. Okay, it's all one-piece bathing suits.
Yeah, there's different ways that you can excrete on the quest.
Let's not go there. No, it's me with my one-piece bathing suit holding a quest. Then I have like a quest with a tropical theme.
Wait, what? There's actually a link.
It's fake. It's fake.
Oh, I was like, are you serious? I thought we were messing. No way.
It is. I mean, listen, people have asked for it so many times, so I made the account, but it's fake. But we'll see. I'm ready to sell out. So if you guys want to buy my underwear off OnlyFans, go for it. But
I wouldn't mind some Oculus underwear actually. Send Oculus across the elastic band.
Yeah, probably has cameras in it.
Yes.
Wait, I think am I on Facebook's radar again? Yeah. Anyway, so Steve, VR in 2021. Before we get there, we have to talk a little bit about VR 2020. Fantastic year. Undeniably, undeniably fantastic year. So just couple typical questions. What was your favorite game of 2020?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot,
I'm not
man.
trying to remember what came out in 2020 because it all kind of like the days blend.
Well, Boneworks is December 2019. So
It wasn't Boneworks. Let me see if I have a game, but I'm not sure if I think it might have released late 2019.
what are you thinking?
Okay, that's not it. Something.
Now, are you thinking? Is this a?
Fantastic! No, the game. My favorite game actually was released this year. I thought it was around March, April. It's Lies Beneath.
Lies Beneath
was my favorite VR game.
Wow, I'm actually VR in general. So you're putting Lies Beneath above Half-Life Alyx. That is a 2020 game.
I don't know. Half-Life Alyx was amazing, but for some reason, Lies Beneath is just stuck with me. I'm a huge Resident Evil, Silent Hill fan, and that's the kind of game I've wanted in VR for so long. There doesn't seem to be many of them. So it's a personal favorite.
Okay, so
but I wouldn't say it was the best game of 2020, but it was probably my favorite.
All right, that's good because that was kind of like my second question. But the problem with Lies Beneath is I played it right after Half-Life Alyx. So you're going from this high-end PC VR experience to this was played on the original Quest, and so I'm playing it on the original Quest, and there's no like physical interaction with things, and it just.
Sorry. What game are you talking about?
I'm talking about Lies Beneath.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So there's no real physical interaction. Then the limitations of the Quest, because if I remember correctly, it released first on the Quest before it released for PC. Yeah. So I played it originally on the Quest. So graphically, I had a little issue getting immersed. I didn't find it that scary, and there was aspects of it that were really, really cool. But then, like, I'm walking around environments trying to touch stuff, and my hands just clipping through everything. And I kind of, like, eventually I was like, I can't get into this. So that's my take. But I know there's another title, In Death, which I love on the Quest, and it just does not.
Oh, yeah. That was a game you were so shocked. I was like, I'm not really. Well, saying that, I played it on release or before the official release, and it just didn't gel with me at all. But I did play it rather recently to play the new tower defense mode that they've got, and they had Quest 2 enhancements, and now it's got smooth locomotion as well, not teleportation. And yeah, I actually think it's a pretty good game now.
I mean, I gotta say that I don't know, like, just something about it. I just love the gameplay loop. It's easy to pick up, get into. It's difficult, the right level of difficult. I just like it's 30-minute clips that I always enjoy, and then their whole aspect behind like why they did the new game mode was one, they were inspired by Valve and the Lab, the bow game from the Lab. Kind of works the same way mechanically a little bit. And then at the same time, they wanted to give you like a different way to get into the game, not these very difficult 20 to 30 minute clips, but like 10 to 15 minute, which I think is great because VR is very physically engaging. I know my buddy Soul Fox, who was in the chat earlier, said one round of this is shoulders burning, and I thought I was just old, but one round of Siege of Heaven, my shoulders burning.
Yeah, because you're constantly
like this,
pulling back for that bow. Yeah.
So he said, "No, you're not old. My shoulder's killing me too." So all right, well, I am old, but it's not the old kicking in. But yeah, so I mean, but one of my other indie titles that actually, well, it's not really technically an indie title, but it was an indie experience that I'll talk and Steve will walk away from me.
No. I listened. I could still hear you.
One of my favorite indie-esque experiences was actually a custom room for a VR chat Among Us. Now, you didn't get in on that action, but it was fantastic.
I played it.
Yes.
I did play it late. But yeah, I wasn't part of the hype.
Yeah, so a bunch of us got in. I'm going to bring you in frame a little bit more. So a bunch of us got in on that. We did, like a live stream. I think Grumpy Duck orchestrated that. So he finally did something good in life. But sorry, if you're just joining, I just pick on Grumpy a lot because it's what I do. No, but so it was actually just it was a great event, and playing Among Us in VR. Like, one of my favorite things of 2020 is just me and Eric yelling at each other. Eric for president. Because I knew he was sus and he denied it, and everyone was believing him. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? It's freaking clear as day. I mean,
he has that effect on people.
I'm like, this boy is guilty. What is wrong with you guys? But it was that was one of my highlights of 2020. What was your biggest disappointment game wise 2020?
Cyberpunk? No.
Let's keep it the VR.
My disappointment. Ooh. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that anything that was a bad experience, I just kind of ignore or repress.
I'm the opposite. I hoard.
Yeah, I know.
I hoard every bad experience. I can remember when I was getting yelled at when I was 3. So
I think they're gonna hate me for this, and I know you'll probably agree if I say this, but it must have been playing Onward on launch on the Oculus Quest.
Onward. So I see. Actually, even after all the crap I dealt with Onward, if you guys are not familiar, I know most of you guys are regulars. But my Quest died playing Onward. It froze. It was all messed up when it came back online, and then I had to factory reset it, and I was pissed. And I made a video which was quite controversial at the time, but I still to this day get plenty of people telling me that Onward is messing with their Quest. Still to this day. But yes, that was a scenario that really pissed me off. And I would say that's not my worst experience. My biggest disappointment of 2020 with VR. I don't think Onward on Quest was fantastic. I think everything at a distance looks like crap. I haven't tried it on Quest 2. I'm sure it's better. But I feel like, that's a very... the maps on that game are very big. And when you're trying to snipe somebody who's far out, but in the distance, you just see like a pixel. It sucks. So, I mean, I think it's good for the Quest for people who only have a Quest, but personally, no. I immediately threw on the PC version, and I was like, this is night and day. It's barely the same game. But my biggest disappointment was probably, Grumpy's going to know this one. I have 2, but one was Medal of Honor.
That was a letdown.
Yes. Did you play it?
I've not played much of it, to be honest, so maybe it is kind of a letdown.
Shouldn't that...
I've just been busy, and I haven't had the craving to dive back into it.
I've just been busy. Meanwhile, I've put 30 hours into Demon Souls. I played Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Don't give me that you've been busy nonsense.
Hey, it's funny.
See? I track you, man. I know what you've been doing online, so don't give me that you've been busy nonsense. You just don't like the game. Don't try and save your VR relationships. Be honest.
Trying to watch me.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So Medal of Honor, my biggest issue was the performance. With the 3090, the Steam version ran like crap. It ruined the game for me. The multiplayer lobbies, every time I try it, are fairly empty. And I actually tried it on another PC. I played it with the Oculus version on a low-end PC with a Rift S, and it ran perfect. So there's no excuse for that. I know they've been fixing it over time, but it left a really bad taste in my mouth, terrible first impression. And
you had a crazy graphics card as well, didn't you? So you wouldn't expect to be...
With the 3090, I should never run into any issues, And then I went into Psychosis Mateo mode, where I ran every type of benchmark imaginable on my PC. To be like...
Something must be wrong with my computer.
Something must be wrong with my computer. But then I went through, tons of comments online, and people are like, what the F? I have brand new top of the line Intel 109 10900K CPU and a 3090, and this game runs like shit. And I'm like, hi, me too. So that's unexcusable. Just delay it, man. I mean, just delay it. Don't ruin that. But anyway,
there's been a lot of that this year.
Sam, what's going on, guy? Man. So guys, for everybody in the chat, normally I'm very responsive and I like talking to you guys as much as possible. But right now, this is the new Hanging Out with Steve Knows format. It's the MattKnows Podcast. So in the future, you know, a little bit later in this, we'll answer some of your questions, maybe in 15 minutes or so after we get through a few more questions. But yeah, thanks for being here and glad you're hanging out. Stalker311, that's me. Yeah, I stalk you, Steve. Okay. So one of my other big disappointments was actually Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. I feel like
I forgot about that. See, like I said, I repress it.
See, I also feel like you're a pretty forgiving person in general. I'm cutthroat. You know, I don't have many years left to live in my life, so they better be full speed ahead. And they better all be good. Don't waste my time. Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, man, I felt like it went from this really cool, immersive storytelling in Vader Immortal, and their next game was a mediocre shooter.
Yeah, it sucked.
Whoa, we got a sucked from Steve Knows.
It sucked. I played it, I was pumped, and it just felt so hollow, and I wasn't invested.
It felt very hollow, yes. Only the side mission where you get to be a Jedi for like 15 minutes was like, that's the highlight. So let's see. So 2020, good year for VR YouTubers. I know you've been killing it. We know we deal with the ups and downs of YouTube, but who are your favorite VR YouTube up and comers? Who are you watching? Who do
I watch up and coming? I dabble quite a bit, really. I don't make it known that I'm watching everybody, but I do like click on while I'm working at the office. I'm like, oh, all right, let's check that out instead of listening to what's happening in the meeting. I probably shouldn't say that online.
Whatever.
But, I don't know. Everyone. Well, I can't say everyone because that's not true. But I suppose I frequently go back to, of course, you, Matt. But between realities, I do love watching that.
Yeah.
I go back to them, their podcast, because they seem to do. They have such good guests.
Yes.
On that show.
Yes.
And the dynamic between Skeever and Alex.
Yes.
Just seems to work so well.
I will completely agree with you, man. Their dynamic is great, and all their guests are fantastic. Because they introduce you to people, a broad spectrum VR. You know, not just the gamers.
Sorry. I'm just cracking up at Tom Naylor's comment.
Yeah, Steve just sits back and watches his videos on loop. No, that's my job. Yeah, I mean, as far as like, it's tough because as a YouTuber myself, I want to show as much support as possible, but you can't be everywhere. You can't be everywhere. But I try and do my best, like, especially if I see a video that, you know, went above and beyond, or just, you know, the average good. You know, I want to drop my comment and support everybody. But yeah, there's too much. But I mean, like, have you seen The Mystical?
Oh, of course, yes, yeah. I've spoken to him privately quite a few times, actually.
So I've only spoken to him like once or twice. I really like to get to know all the VR YouTubers because we all share a passion. So they're the best people to talk to. That's why, like, if the conventions were running, it would be amazing. We'd have so much fun together.
Wouldn't it? I'd love to meet everyone.
I'm hoping, because PAX East has been delayed until June. So I'm hoping PAX East will be up this year because I had a blast last year. I had a freaking blast last year. And Ty didn't show last year because he was scared of COVID. And this was right before PAX East was the last convention closed. It was the last, like, convention. And then immediately after that in March, everyone here started getting sick. And it was the end of February. So, but I'm hoping, you know, this June they have it. I can meet I can meet Ty, meet some other people. But yeah, so I always try to meet people. Mystical's awesome. You know, like, I'm trying to get closer to, like, Paradise Decay has been an awesome buddy lately. And he's just great, dude. He just, like, chills, plays his game, lets you know about his game.
He's a good guy.
And another guy who's just always great is GT. GT is like, I'll just come in and be like, hey, what's up, man? And next thing I know, he's giving me like a pep talk. And I'm just like, I'm like, dude, is this therapy session? Thank you so much. Like, you know, he's a great dude. But I'm trying, as you know, I think we've discussed this. one of my most anticipated games, let's get into 2021, is After the Fall. That's one of my most anticipated games. That's from Vertigo Games. Steve.
Until You Fall, yeah?
Yeah. Not, excuse
No,
I said Until You Fall.
no,
After the Fall.
so
After the Fall. After the Fall. Hold on.
Well, Until You Fall, great game.
Until You Fall is also great, but After the Fall is what I meant. I'll punch you to make things better. I just sent you a little online punch. So it really should have been a slap to me, but it's a punch to you. So.
Oh, nice. A bit delayed, right? I'm not going to know when that is.
So After the Fall is one of my most anticipated games for 2021. It's from Vertigo Games. We just did some work for Arizona Sunshine, which I have to say, I forgot to mention that was another one of my 2020 highlights.
It was so funny. That was so much fun.
I mean, if you guys didn't see, me and Steve did a promotional video for the new Horde mode on Arizona Sunshine. I wish I had it queued up. I would have brought it up, but I don't have it queued up right now. I do have some other stuff queued up though, and I have After the Fall. So After the Fall is going to be a four-person co-op shooter. I guess the closest thing is like a Left 4 Dead. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I am really looking forward to that. And I think based on a relationship with Vertigo Games, maybe we'll have a four-man team.
Isn't this a static play, though?
Static?
Yeah, like you have locations. It's not free roam.
I don't believe it's free roam, no. You're not
familiar? I haven't paid much attention to this game. I think I've seen like the promotion a long time ago, and I haven't really...
Yeah, so, I mean, it was originally supposed to release in 2020. And what ended up happening was it didn't release in 2020, obviously. I think it might be partially because of Vertigo Games acquisition by Koch Media or whatever else is going on. The game wasn't ready. But they're making this, Left 4 Dead style four-person co-op shooter. And I think with their experience with Arizona Sunshine, they can nail this. Obviously, Arizona Sunshine is old at this point. So it kind of looks a little quirky and has its issues. I think this could be really a next level title.
This is this? I guess this is the PC version we're looking at. It doesn't.
Of course, it is.
Look as shiny as some of the newer games.
Well, I mean, but then think about Left 4 Dead, and you compare it to when Left 4 Dead released and what else was out on the market, and would you say it was one of the shiniest games? No, it does a great job. It looks good. It's fun. It's got a great game. It's got a great gameplay loop, and I really hope that's what they'll deliver. When we get to this title, when it does eventually release. I mean, that's one of my most anticipated games. What are you looking for in 2021?
2021. Crikey. Don't know. I've not really thought that far ahead, to be honest.
Jeez, Mr. Steve.
I've been looking forward to the PS5.
I got my PS5. I gotta say, I was pumped for that. Right now on screen, I'm just putting up one of my videos, which is 4 years of VR games ranked. I have a new one coming out, which is 5 years of VR games ranked, which is me going through my entire Quest list, my Steam library, my Viveport library, and you guys basically get to see me ranking every single game. And that list is up to like 200-something games at this point.
It was a big game.
Yeah, so the new one is coming, should be out in about 2 months. And we're just going to play that in the background a little bit. So kind of inspire us to remind us, the games that we've come across over the last few years. We did get some love for the promotional video, Steve, for our work.
Let's call it a cult classic.
I have to say that it was amazing doing that video, and I wish we could do more stuff like that. So I'm really hoping it happens with After the Fall sometime this year. Now, one of the other things we were discussing, Steve, was new headsets. Do you have any speculation on what's going to happen this year with VR headsets?
I don't see anything coming out this year. I think it's going to be a pretty dead one for headset hardware. Well, unless something is already coming out, but I don't imagine Oculus releasing anything or HP releasing anything. Valve may hint at something new, But I don't see anything being released in 21.
I'm smiling at the comments now, like you. Yes, these two idiots have joined forces. Idiot 1 and Idiot 2 over here.
Skiva missed his shout out.
Yeah. So, Skiva knows I'm always sending him love. We were talking about Between Realities, and it's one of our favorite podcasts. We were talking about our favorite YouTubers. So, yeah. So I mean, I have to say that, well, HTC did make some comments recently that they said they're coming out with new headsets in 2021, and they're supposed to be next level headsets. They're gonna bring VR to the next level. I feel like they're doing the classic overpromise, underdeliver, and the other headset that Skiva just mentioned is right in there, which is Deca Gear.
Yeah, okay, all right. There's not. When I think of like the main players, I always think of Sony, HTC, Valve, Oculus, but of course there's third-party headsets always coming out left, right, and center.
So, I mean, Deca Gear has, again, they're in that same boat. Like, so yeah, if you guys are not familiar with Deca Gear, they're a startup pretty much out of nowhere claiming to make this fantastic headset, which they have a release date of May, a very loose release date of May 2021, which seems unlikely. They're also promising for $500 something you can't get anywhere else. A headset it's a PC VR headset that works out of the box wirelessly over Wi-Fi.
But it's too good to be true, right? That's what I'm so skeptical. I don't know the company.
It has
out of nowhere. They've just offered me the Ferrari.
I know.
For a pound.
We can deliver a Ferrari for the cost of a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in conversation with them a tiny bit. They promised me a prototype. I don't even think I'll see the prototype, to be honest. They said, look for a prototype around January. January's got 3-4 weeks left in it, guys. But if, obviously I'll keep you guys informed. But then, so HTC, big promises. Deca Gear, big promises. I'm not really, expecting much.
HTC, though. See, again, I'm normally quite positive, but I'm so skeptical about new headsets this year. I don't expect anything decent, and I think is HTC. I can't remember. Have they said that this is going to be a consumer headset?
They have not said. They just said next level, 2016 Vive style hype. How they're gonna elevate VR? Honestly, we kind of know the natural progression: wireless, better resolution, higher refresh rate, better haptics. We kind of know what they're going to pull out of their ass to bring it to the next level. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I hope for a Quest competitor.
And maybe that's what they're going with. We have seen in the wild some performance. There was a leak that looked like it had a HTC Vive Focus. Yeah, that's their enterprise standalone model with an XR2 chip in it. So maybe, I don't know. It's tough, man.
That's what I hope for, because it's like the kind of the perfect time. Oh, someone's saying, mentioning price and tracking. Yeah, of course. I reckon if it's still going to be more expensive than the Quest, like 500. But after this Facebook blowout with the Quest and seeing the demand and the fact that Oculus have a huge monopoly on the VR space based on Steam statistics, they're dominating.
So
that's what I hope for.
So we've kind of, we touched on it earlier before you joined the podcast, buddy. So one of the things that, it's like, okay, you're going to take a company like HP. HP produced the headset in conjunction with Valve and Microsoft, and they really can't nail tracking. Okay? And they made their headset $500, and now this company Deca Gear says, okay, we can one up them. We can one up HP, Microsoft, and Valve. Their combined work, we could one up them for the same price. It's just like, how? But jumping back to what you said, yes, Facebook absolutely needs competition. Facebook has the luxury of being like, okay, listen, we don't really need to make money off our headsets. We just need to get everyone into our environment, suck them in, and suck the data out of them, because that's where the real money is. or that's our end goal. And that's why the headsets are basically subsidized. So they're at or near cost. HTC cannot afford to do that. They need high profit margins. They're a hardware company. So, yeah, that's why no one can compete with Facebook right now. But someone has to. The government needs to step in and be like, no, you're doing messed up stuff. And then someone has to say, yes, now's our opportunity, jump right in. And HTC can do that because they have something that no one else really has, which is their their Netflix-style game store.
Yes. If they could integrate that somehow to use standalone hardware, that would be something pretty special. It's going to be so hard to compete with Oculus because they've already grounded it. They've got a huge library, standalone library. They've now got all of these bloody first-party devs on their side. They've got a whole ecosystem that they've created for such a long time now. It's kind of hard for anyone to step in.
And it's kind of a crazy scenario because it's a crazy scenario because all these devs don't want to work with Facebook. Now, no one will really outright say that. Now, there are comments on Twitter. There's people who've previously worked with them who are jaded. But they're, like you see comments from Big Screen, or Paul Malucky. And
that broke my heart. That was a big one. The Big Screen one was sad.
So, I mean, there's scenarios like that. You also see like little guys, like developer for virtual desktop saying, Oculus kind of just shows up and they're like, listen, work with us or we're going to put you out of business. There's scenarios like that, which are messed up. Anton from H3 says he refuses to go to the Quest, even though he knows he'll make a ton of money. So, like, developers are in this weird situation where it's like, well, I want to follow my passion. I want to develop a VR game. But if I do it on PC VR, I'm probably not going to make my money back, or I won't make much money. And I can't live the dream. So they're kind of just like, well, listen, we're going to make the deal with the devil because our sales are going to skyrocket. And then at the same time, it gives Facebook more of a stranglehold on the industry. So that's why they need competition. Because if Facebook had it their way, they would be as non-inclusive as possible. They're already non-inclusive with their store. There's no reason why these games wouldn't work on other headsets. And we know that from just using Revive. We know the games work on other headsets.
Yeah, and people wanting to implement OpenXR now as well. So if you do have another standalone device, it shouldn't be a pain at all.
And even if the game is developed in OpenXR, they're still going to block other headsets from access from their store. Because that's not their end goal. It's not how they operate. Their goal is to just monopolize. And I understand people are going to say, oh, it's a capitalist conversation and like, blah, 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 that's the end goal. Yeah, I get it. But listen, it's like Valve sits there and they says, we want VR to exceed. We want to show you the best of what VR can be. They give us amazing hardware. They give us amazing software. They're Half-Life Alyx, no one can argue that it's just groundbreaking. And they go out of their way to make sure it works on the Quest, Windows Mixed Reality, all headsets. They go out of their way and they do it right. And actually, that was a nice big boom for VR. But we need, VR in general needs more than that. But Facebook's approach is like, yeah, we're going to grow it, but we're going to grow it for us and no one else. It's a rough scenario. Yeah.
I feel quite sad now, Matt. I started off feeling quite positive.
Yes, I ruined 2021 for Steve. 2021, excuse me. Don't even know what year we're in. Listen, I'm not telling people to torrent Oculus Quest games. I never discuss pirating of VR games. Being in this field, we're kind of in this industry now, Steve. We have to stay away from that stuff. I wouldn't condone it at all. People are working their asses off, and they deserve to be rewarded. So don't pirate your games, guys. Play your games. Don't pirate them.
What's happened to my screen?
It looks like you have.
I've gone from a
you got
PC VR game to a Quest title.
Yes. Oh, I love it. We're finally getting Steve to shit talk the Quest. 2021, 1921, same difference. I mean, we got electricity in both of them. Both have pandemics. So Steve has decided it was the perfect time to just leave the stream because he's Steve and he just does stuff like that. Anyway, no, it looks like we were having some bandwidth issues with Steve. He is over in the UK. They have the worst internet ever.
Well, not the worst.
Yeah, not the worst. My brother lives in UK and he says it's horrendous. But Steve, I think it's a good time for us to just answer some questions from people here in the chat.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to the audience, to the community.
Yes, if you guys have any...
Let me show you this. I want to show you this. I love this. Look, I've got a new little toy. You've already seen it.
Where is he going? Where is he going?
I'll be back in this. I've got to put this on. I might look for you.
What's wrong with this guy? Guys, help me out with this guy. I mean, seriously, what is going on with this guy? The worst podcast member ever. Steve knows. I'm letting him adjust his camera.
Oh no, I'm not adjusting. I need a name. I want to show off my old. I don't know. I'm going on tour. This is the room. Is it dark? It's too dark. This guy. I need a name.
Oh, that's little Steve.
Is that what we're going to call him? I'll call him Steve.
Stevie.
I love it. I love it so much. The best Christmas present ever. But it's not very tall.
Now, is that the new model?
Yeah. That's the Nimbus 4000. That's a Harry Potter room, isn't it? Never mind.
I got your reference. So all right, so guys, we're gonna jump into, now that Steve is done Steving, we're gonna jump into just some questions from you guys. Just make sure you direct them. So just do @Matteo311 or @SteveKnows, and we'll take them as they come in. I think I think there were some already, but if I see any, I'll start yelling and I'll cut Steve off because I'm good at that.
Okay, you must.
But I don't really have any Quest 3 predictions. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Quest 3 predictions?
Yeah, Quest 3. People think this is Quest 3. Mr. Steve, we got one for you.
Yeah, on their track record. Yeah, 2022 October Quest 3.
So, Mr. Steve, when am I getting a Master Chief admin?
I don't think you're old enough, Pug, are you? But that's a Discord moderation question.
You know what? Take that stuff out of here.
No, we're not firing Pug. He's good. He's good.
Steve, someone let us know that your the antennas on your camera connection, that's what it is. You need to adjust the antenna, and then you'll get a better signal.
Okay. It's so bad.
It's probably a bandwidth issue, man. So, Steve, do you like the B-Haptics vest?
Well, yeah, of course.
And
I love B-Haptics vest. I love the fact that it's natively supported by quite a few games on the Oculus Quest, so I can just enjoy Quest wirelessly without the PC VR fat.
What about the heat level?
The heat level?
Yeah. Well, you're a skinny guy, so
it gets hot. It doesn't get hot. I don't think I've never gotten hot with the vest. Does it get hot?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have one.
Sorry,
I don't have one yet. I've been told my X40 is on the way soon in 2022. Okay.
Man's not hot. When do you think VR and gaming hardware in general will become more available? Do you not think it's not available now? I mean, it's on the game store. It's in Argos, it's in
Walmart. He means Walmart
now.
Yeah,
and it wasn't previously. That's a new thing. So I think it's more available than it's ever been.
I mean, it is pretty huge to see these products in in online stores like Amazon and in physical stores like Walmart because Walmart's everywhere in the U.S. So, yeah, I mean, that is a big push. It is definitely much more mainstream. I know a bunch of family members that got one for Christmas, nephews and cousins.
Facebook has blown up of just people in their new quests playing Beat Saber.
Family members that I haven't talked to forever have just messaged me and be like, should I get my son, daughter, nephew, cousin, whatever, a quest? Because I guess they see some of the stuff I post. So I got family members asking me questions. So, yeah. Matt, are you jealous of Steve's beard? Not at all.
Because it's got a bit of ginger in it.
Oh, if you have a little ginger in there, for sure, I'm not jealous. Gingers have no souls.
Oh, okay. You got the Cartman approach.
Yes.
No, I'm jealous of Matt's pug.
I mean, I need to brush it or something. It's crazy right now. But am I excited about the Tesla suit? I am. Well, the Tesla suit isn't the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of. There's another one that's supposed to be nice and cheap that does full body tracking. That's not the Tesla suit, is it? Look at him side eye. I'm
thinking about it.
I look.
Does the Tesla suit? I don't remember it having full body tracking.
I look into my brain and try and tell a hamster to go faster. So the Tesla suit, I know originally, I think it's a different company, and I thought they went enterprise for a while. I don't know. I'm not familiar. Can't really answer. Lucas, hi. What's up? We say hi. Let's see. Will you propose to Steve in VR? We're gonna do a whole yes, Kaz and Cherry. We'll do a whole Kaz and Cherry.
I loved that. It was adorable.
That they pulled the heartstrings, and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, you know what? I am Steve. This is not the time to discuss this, but now that I'm the 40 mark, you start to think about how life was. And when you
you got to that age.
I've been married.
Back in my age.
I've been married for 10 years. So when you look at that, it's really exciting, and you are like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so happy for them. Our buddy Eric just had a kid. So these are milestones I pass, and I look back at it. So I mean, it's I'm really happy for them, but I'm kind of like, like a little tiny bit of jealousy there, because I love to be back in that state. So, but super happy for them. Am I jealous of Steve's?
Matt, it sounds like you're trying to unload something to me.
Steve, I've been trapped in my basement for 10 months, Steve.
That's what it sounds like.
This is my only outlet. I've been trapped in my basement for 10 months. My wife barely ever comes home. She works all day. I'm losing it, man. I need you. Will you marry me, Steve?
I'm sorry, I'm taken. I myself, in next month, in 4 weeks' time, will be my 10-year anniversary as well.
Yeah. Oh, congrats, man. By the way, I am not jealous of Steve's hair. Look at this hair. Look at this. How could I be jealous of Steve's hair?
Yeah, how can you be jealous of my hair?
But
you've got hair like that.
But you're not married though, Steve.
No, I'm not married. No. Well, I'm engaged.
Yes. Congrats.
The wedding is hopefully this year. Next year.
Hawk, I'm gonna have to check out those Tesla suit gloves. Let's see.
All of my consoles. Okay. ZX Spectrum, Xbox, PS4, PS2, GameCube, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, NES, SNES, N64, Commodore 64, Sega Mega Drive, Sega Master System, Xbox One S.
Now he's just flexing.
Okay, I got them all. I've got them all.
I got them all, guys. So you should have did a non-VR channel, man. What are you thinking?
Well, I started off that way. I did start off that way.
So, the Mateo's thick comments are finally coming in. That took long enough. And am I from Boston or New York? So it's funny because I get this all the time. A lot of people just think Boston because people who don't live.
I'm walking here.
And no one says that. And people who do not live on the East Coast can't tell the difference in East Coast accents. And when I hear Boston, I'm like, no, I don't say pak the ka, mashed potatoes, pak the ka, all that other crap they say. They say a bunch of weird stuff. No, I'm not from Boston. I grew up in New York City. But if you throw a stone in New York City, you hit a different accent. Every borough has a very specific accent. Let's see. Let's see what's going on, man. Boston sounds like it's not Boston. Boston? Let's see. Do you appreciate my hair questions? Because no one else was asking you questions. Yes, I love the questions about how thick am I, my hair, stuff like that, my OnlyFans page. I love them so much. So, Mr. Steve, this has been a fun time having this little podcast experiment we're doing here.
We were just hanging out.
Yeah, obviously you're going to have to up your game in the future.
You said call me on Discord, and then I ended up on your stream, so that was a bit cheeky of you.
Yeah, I planned it. See, Steve didn't actually know we were doing a podcast today. I just said, Steve, can you do me a favor? Can you call me immediately after work? It's really important. I need to talk to you. I said, and we've officially tricked Steve into joining. He was working all day, so he didn't see the Twitter posts and stuff like that. So we've officially tricked Steve into a podcast. Let's see. Oh, the web VR games, people asking. I don't have much experience with web VR games. There was a Spider-Man one I tried a little back, but no, I don't have much experience.
You not tried that Beat Saber copy, like Moon Beats or something?
No, I'm bigger on Foot Saber.
That's such a great mod. I love the mod. There's so many good mods for Beat Saber. I love the one where they've added the running legs on the blocks.
It's just, people are ridiculous. I love people.
It's so funny.
Oh, Steve, they're putting me down. They're saying you carried the podcast. Thanks, guys.
Oh, no. That's a mod from my server, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for making me feel great on my own channel.
Oh, there we go. Chris said it. Moonrider. There we go. That's the web one. And there's another one where you can be a barista and you like train to be in Starbucks. How to cook a panini. Make a latte.
Now, how does that like sound fun at all, Steve? Train to be a barista.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't. I'm not doing that again. I was one for 7 years. I'm done with that.
Well, once I get to the UK, you're making me some coffee, my man.
Yes, because I was a coffee champion back in the day.
So me and Steve are gonna try and make this official going forward. We're gonna have a new time that works for Steve, so he doesn't join the middle of my stream. And we'll obviously plan things out a little bit more. This was our trial run. I wanted to see how it went for Steve. I wanted to make sure he had a good time. I wanted to see how you guys responded. And Skeever threw us some money, man.
Boom.
Just so you know, it's
that's a box of 20 nuggets. That is amazing.
It's a 30-40 split here. 60-40.
That's a what? 30-40.
30-40. Yeah, and then 30 goes to me again. No, my brain doesn't work. Skiva, you don't have to do that, man. That's super awesome. Thank you for your support, guys. 30-40. Why are you guys even listening to me at this point? I honestly, I can't believe people put up with me. Just a little bit of background music and your voice in the background is enough to just totally ruin my whole brain.
Parallax Decay. That's called Kopi Luwak. Kopi Luwak. Well, Kopi is the cat, and the Luwak is wet grinding, which is the method they use to get the seed out of the coffee cherry after the cats kind of shat it out. So the cat eats it, and then it poops out the coffee bean, and then you use that coffee bean in your drink. Man, that's a thing.
Well, sure. I've actually heard of that poop coffee. So, sure. People are weird, man. People do anything.
Very strange.
Yeah. So, Steve...
Dan.
Steve is going to go all out for the next official podcast. He's coming hard with special effects and clips, and he's going to do most of the talking. It's going to be a great time, guys. No, but I hope you guys enjoyed this new podcast experience we're working on. This is, we just threw this together. In what was this, 10 minutes, Steve?
Well, yeah. You're like, call me. Here I am. It's done.
Yep. But I had a blast. I think having Steve here really helps me, my mental state, being trapped in my basement for 10 months with COVID. And if it wasn't for you, Steve, I don't know where I'd be. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining.
How kind of you.
Yes.
So adorable. Thanks, Matt.
No,
I need that. I need someone to rub my ego.
I think we could all use some rubbing right about now. Phrasing on purpose, innuendo. Yeah, no, but I mean, guys, me and Steve are definitely dedicated to VR. I know Steve has an amazing community. I'm sure my community already knows Steve knows. If you don't know, go check out his channel. He is just an awesome guy, personal friend at this point. At one point in time, you guys will see me in UK hanging out with Steve. It will definitely happen.
It was supposed to be last year, yeah.
It was supposed to be last year, and they shut the borders. My wife had her luggage. She's like, I don't care, I'm going. I'm like, the borders are closed. I'm like, the plane, no flying. And she's like, ugh. But yeah. So guys, thank you for joining. If you don't know about Steve Knows channel, you gotta check it out. You really do. You gotta know about the know right there. And
Thanks,
Steve does some amazing content. He's a big inspiration to me, and he's just great for the VR world in general. This podcast here, guys, we expect to make it bigger and better for you guys over time. That's my motto. We just keep working on things. We make it better, and we'll have a lot of fun. Steve will work on his podcast abilities rather than giggling out of nowhere, my man.
I know, I'm laughing at the chat.
I know. I like teasing you. But guys, thank you for joining. It was a lot of fun. Go, Steve, is there anything you want to plug?
Good day.
Good day. So support Steve's Good Day. Guys, thanks for all the support you guys have been giving me. It's huge for me. I do want to take this channel to a full-time gig at some point in time, and you guys are making that possible. We're getting there, guys. It's been going great. So until next time, I have a video coming out on Friday, which is actually going to be all the reasons why you shouldn't get an Oculus Quest 2. It's not going to be a crapping on the Quest 2 or a Facebook video. I know you saw me and Steve do some of that, but it's actually going to be for people who are on the fence. Some people just don't know about VR in general. If you go check out Quest 2 reviews, a lot of us just talk about the same things. We talk about the screen resolution, the field of view, how cheap the product is, the increased performance you get with the XR2 chipset. And for someone new to VR, this is kind of crap. It doesn't give them the information they need. So this is basically a more general stuff, like let you guys know how VR games are different than regular games. How, like if you're a big Call of Duty fan and you think you're joining the next big thing in the new gaming revolution, I'm going to play Call of Duty in VR. That's not what VR is all about. So I'm going to be answering those questions in a future video. I will see you guys for the news on Monday. And next Wednesday, we'll be back with another podcast, I assume. We'll see.
Yeah, well, yeah. It seems some nice comments, so I'd love to be back and look forward to the video. It sounds like a nice take on that no one seems to be doing.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. It's been a lot of fun. Steve, my man, thank you for being here. Good day.
That's mine.
No.